Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to dive into a story about how invisible constraints can have very visible and very damaging consequences for an entire organization.
I mean, just imagine walking into your office, and that's the first thought that hits you. For one team of 200 developers, this wasn't some funny exaggeration. This was their daily reality, a suffocating one at that.
Okay, so how on earth did it get this bad? Well, it all starts with just one number. A single, shockingly small number that pretty much defined their entire work life.
Yeah, 80 centimeters. That was it. That was the total width of workspace given to every single person. I mean, that's barely enough room to even exist, let alone focus and write complex code.
And look, this wasn't some tiny team tucked away in a corner. We're talking about 200 developers, all packed into this space, shoulder to shoulder, every single day.
You know, the source material just nails the description. This wasn't just a crowded office, it was physically oppressive. Think about it. Even the smallest thing, like pulling out your chair or getting up to go to the restroom, became this whole big production.
So at first, the team kind of tried to just roll with it, that whole it is what it is mentality. But yeah, that didn't last long. The constant, grinding pressure of that space just started to wear everyone down. And what's really fascinating here is how you can see the morale just slowly decaying. This wasn't some big dramatic blow-up. Nope, it was more like a slow poison, where all these tiny little stresses just kept piling up until the whole vibe became irritable and tense.
And then you had this, which basically just poured gasoline on the fire. You've got Team A grinding it out till midnight, right? And they look over and see Team B leaving way earlier. You can just imagine the resentment building. It created this powerful, toxic feeling of unfairness that just drained everybody.
Has that feeling ever hit you? That invisible pressure at work where you know something's just off? You're definitely not alone. We get into these kinds of organizational dynamics all the time here, so if that's your thing, maybe think about subscribing for more insights. Okay, so the team is at its absolute breaking point. People are wiped out, they can't focus, their judgment is totally shot. And then, something completely out of left field happens. Look, everyone there knew things were bad. They could feel it. But the proof, the hard evidence that things were completely unsustainable, it didn't come from a manager or some HR survey. No, it came from somewhere else entirely.
A health inspector shows up, and the verdict is simple and just devastating. The problem wasn't just stress. It wasn't in their heads. It was in the very air they were breathing, every single day.
And this is the absolute key takeaway. This hard scientific data, CO2 levels, it validated every single feeling those employees had. It proved they weren't just whining. They were literally, physically suffocating. And management, staring at that undeniable proof, they finally started to panic.
Right, so management's in a panic. But of course, deadlines are looming. Clients are waiting. You can't just shut the whole thing down, right? So instead of actually fixing the real problem, they scrambled for a quick and dirty fix. And what they came up with was, well, it was pretty desperate. They started opening windows that had been sealed shut for security reasons. They threw a bunch of money at air purifiers, not even knowing if they'd work. Why? Because in their minds, doing nothing was not an option.
And this is the absolute definition of a Band-Aid on a major wound. Yeah, it made things slightly better, enough to keep people working, but the core issue, the crushing overcrowding, was still completely there.
That whole idea of a temporary fix for a really deep problem, I think a lot of us can relate to that. If this story is making you think, do us a favor and hit that like button. It really helps us figure out what kind of explainers you want to see more of. Because this story, it's not really just about bad air. It's building to a much, much bigger question.
So this whole mess, it really forces us to zoom out, to look beyond this one crazy office and start asking some really fundamental questions about how we work today and what we actually think is important. And this right here, it's a perfect example of a huge misunderstanding. So many companies talk about digital transformation and think it's just about buying new software, but that's not it at all. Real transformation is about designing the whole system, the physical space, the psychological environment, so that people can actually do their best work.
I mean, you really have to ask yourself, right? Can you build something high quality when your team is literally in survival mode? This whole idea that you can just cram more people into a room and get more output, it's a dangerous fantasy, and eventually it just falls apart.
Because the reality is the complete opposite. When the very foundations of your work,
The space you're in, the air you breathe, feeling safe. When all of that collapses, productivity doesn't just dip a little, it falls right off a cliff.
And that brings us to the final big question here. If you're telling your people to go fight a war for innovation, to build amazing things, but you only give them an 80-centimeter box to do it in, well, maybe the problem isn't your soldiers. Maybe, just maybe, you need to question the entire battlefield.